Welcome to the Missionary Flights Hospitality Park. It's just around the corner from the hangar facilities that MFI moved into 14 years ago. In 2015, we acquired the property and started building. Generous donations have come in and God has allowed us to build this awesome facility. Last fall, the 12 RV spots got their certificate of occupancy, and May 1st, we got the certificate of occupancy for the center behind me. And we're starting the construction on the 4 cottages. This facility will help us to be able to serve faithful missionaries. It'll help us to enable short-term mission teams, and it'll help us to increase our volunteer workforce as they stay in the RVs. And so we're excited about this, and we've been given another $700,000 match, and we'll talk about more of that later. We believe the Hospitality Center will produce generations of missionaries. You're not just investing in a building, but you're investing in lives. Think back to the time when you were a child or in junior high and you did go to a retreat center or somewhere, and you probably never thought about how that place was funded or how it was built or what went into it beforehand. I know for myself, going to a Christian camp and retreat times with our youth group had a tremendous impact on my life, and eventually, as I gave my life to the Lord and committed to Him full time, committed Him to go anywhere in the world and to become a missionary eventually. This is what we want this retreat center or this hospitality center, as they use it as a retreat, as we use it as short-term accommodations for mission groups, so that we have an impact on young people's lives as well as older people. This kitchen will enable us to be able to provide breakfast for the teams. If they're staying at a hotel, let's say, many times breakfasts don't open up at 5:15, 5:30 when these guys are needing to get on the road to come here to check in at 6 a.m. But we'll be able to provide something early, right in the same building where they're sleeping and just 515 steps away from our hangar. And we'll be able to show up and they'll have their bellies full and they'll be content and ready to go on their flight to Haiti. Here we are in the guys' bunk room. There are actually 14 bunk beds here, made out of sturdy steel. And in between, we've got some storage areas that provide a bench to sit down, put your shoes on, and places for your luggage. There's an electrical plug there for all of us that we know we need to charge our phones before we head overseas and while we're getting ready, and saying goodbye to our families with some texts. But each bunk room is connected to the restrooms for the ability for them to clean up and wash up and get ready for their trip. Having the restrooms ADA handicap accessible allows us to accommodate anybody. Here in the bunk rooms is actually an opportunity for teams to get to know each other better, as opposed to hotel rooms where you can only put a few people in the room. You got your whole team here where you can chat and talk about things before you head overseas. I imagine you guys can remember when you went to camp and had those bunk rooms, and I guess you got to figure out who's going to sleep on top and who's going to sleep on the bottom. Hey, I remember when I was in 4th grade and I went off to camp, and in the middle of the night I apparently rolled off the top bunk and landed on the floor. I'm not sure if I had a concussion or not, but I know they sent me off to the hospital, and I guess I'm still here today to talk about it. But our beds here, the bunk beds, have nice sturdy rails, so there won't be anybody rolling off the top of these. And here we are in our laundry room, which has 4 washers and 4 dryers to be used by the managers here to keep all the sheets in the bunk rooms clean and dried, and towels and everything else. Also the ability for the RV people, the volunteers that are staying in their own RV, if they don't have a washer and dryer in their RV, they can come here and use it. Each of the cottages will have their own washer and dryer as well. But these washer and dryers make it nice for the teams as they come back from Haiti, and maybe they got some dirty clothes. Obviously, down in Haiti, you're getting pretty dusty and dirty, and they can get things cleaned up here before they head home in their suitcase. But we also are able, to keep all the in-house cleaning of the linens and stuff more economical. We don't have to pay a commercial washer company to take care of it for us. And here's the pool area at the Hospitality Center. Originally, plans did not include this, but we have been blessed by some very generous donors that wanted to put a pool in and cover the whole cost, including the screen enclosure. And the great thing about the screen enclosure is that it has the screen, a very small size that keeps the little bugs out, the no-see-ums. And it's great to be able to have a big area here for community. And so we're glad that we're able to bless these missionary families for all their hard work and get them refreshed, rejuvenated, so they can go back and minister again in their country. Last fall, when Hurricane Dorian hit the Bahamas, we had many calls for people needing accommodations short term. And I know when the hurricane was heading this way, many of the people here were evacuating and stores were closing, but our place here could be a haven for those people to provide rest and meals for anybody evacuating from the Bahamas. I know many of you have given to this project, and maybe some of you haven't, but think about the impact that you can have as you donate to this project to make it complete, to be able to provide this service as we enable short-term mission teams. Well, I'm here in actually one of the RVs. We have 12 spots that we have available for volunteers to come down to bring their RV to help us with labor. If we had all 12 filled, then we'd have about 240 hours of work being done for free in a sense. And so it's a great thing to keep us operating economically. But these RV sites are just superb. They are first class. People are going to love it. And it's great to be able to bring people down here that maybe have experience in construction, have experience maybe as a aircraft mechanic, to be able to help us. And so these are the great advantages of having the RV spots. Each RV space has been an excellent opportunity for us to actually raise funds. We've had, I think, at least 7 of these 12 already sponsored at $25,000 each. So if you're interested in sponsoring an RV spot and get your name on a paver bricks and have your name engraved as a tribute to a loved one, we can do that. One of the advantages of people coming to the RV park is for them to learn about missions while they're volunteering, to get a relationship built with us so they can be involved and not just think about a mission organization as someone you just throw your money at, but can be involved intimately as we learn about you, you learn about us, you learn about our needs. And we would hope that some people that are involved with us on an ongoing basis may even consider putting us in their will to help us long term as we continue to serve missions and get the gospel of Jesus Christ out to those who we come in contact with. We are in the process of building 4 cottages on the property. We're currently in the first cottage, the Haiti cottage. They're all 2-bedroom cottages that'll have bathrooms and a living room, dining room, kitchen, fully functional. One of them will actually be ADA handicap accessible, but these will be used for missionary families that come through that need a place to stay while they get organized before they head overseas, or when they need time for rest and relaxation, they can come here. Also for missionaries that may have medical problems that need hospital visits, checkups, ongoing treatments, and then maybe a family that want to come down to volunteer, and they can come down with their children and be able to be a part of MFI as well. One of the challenges for a new family coming on board with MFI is when they move here, where do they stay? And so the cottages will be a great solution for temporary housing for them as they get settled here and they look for a place to rent, or if they're fortunate enough to be able to buy a place. But the cottages will fill that need, and so we're excited to get them finished. I'm sure you remember moving to a new place. Maybe you got a new job and that fear of the unknown, uncertainties, and you were scared about what you were going to do. Having these cottages will be a blessing for the new staff families moving here. And even for missionary families that are going to head overseas to be able to come and stay there while they get things sorted out. As you know, at some point they've got to get rid of their current house or their current place they're renting, and they don't know the exact day they're heading overseas, how that support's coming in. They may be here for a little bit of time as they finish raising support. All sorts of blessings that we can provide for these missionaries. And that's what these cottages are for. Your donation today will make an impact on missionary work for the future. Welcome to the cottages at the brand new Missionary Flights Hospitality Park. We have just completed the first two cottages, the Haiti cottage right here and the Dominican cottage just next to it. And we're going to be working on, we already started the next two cottages, but let's take a tour and see what's inside. We're going to go ahead and take a look at the inside of the Dominican cottage, so follow me. Welcome inside the Dominican cottage. Each of the cottages have their own color theme, and the artwork and decorations are all typical of what maybe that island country would have. Each cottage is 2 bedrooms and 2 baths. This particular one, the Dominican, is ADA handicap accessible, and so the fixtures and countertops and everything in the bathroom and the kitchen and all has the size and the height, you know, that would be typical for that. But let me take a tour here. You can take a look at each of the rooms and see how things are decorated. So inside the 1 bedroom, we have here equipped with 2 bunk beds. So a family of 6 or 7, if someone ends up sleeping on the couch in the living room, they can be accommodated. If there's just a few people, the ladders can be removed and the bottom bunk beds can be used. All right, inside here is the bathroom where we have this shower with no lip, so easy to put a wheelchair inside there and clean yourself up. And here's the master bedroom with the queen bed and a private bath here with a complete full bath and shower. And here's the kitchen. We have a refrigerator that we're still watering and growing, and hopefully it'll change colors to match. No, we're still waiting on that appliance, but everything else is here. Beautiful countertops and everything fully equipped with all the utensils and pots and pans for someone, a family, a missionary family coming here to spend some time to get rejuvenated, or a volunteer family to come and just have everything that they need. And through this door is the carport. And next to the carport are the next 2 cottages that were being built. So let's go take a look at those. So here we are in the carport. The carport's great because down here in Florida, we get some huge thunderstorms and big downpours. It's nice to be able to get in and out of your car and get in and safely and keep dry. Next to us is the other 2 cottages that we're building. The Turks and Caicos and the Bahamas cottage. They're putting on the roofs now, and there'll be a lot of more finish work on the interior, so they're getting it all dried in now. It's been great to see the progress, and I want to make sure that you know that we have a $700,000 match to finish these 4 cottages and complete the hospitality park to where it is. So if you're able to give, that would be great. We do have naming opportunities if you want to you or your church or maybe your business wants to sponsor a cottage for $175,000 to in honor of a loved one or something like that. Contact us, but we're excited about where we've come from and where we're going, and we're using this. The cottages are actually both I think are being occupied tonight, and then we've got 12 people staying in the hospitality center in the bunk rooms tonight for the flight tomorrow. So things are moving along. We're excited about that. Please pray and please give as you are able. We'd love to see you being part of the team.